We call this video Lawsuits and the Task Force Report. In April 2019, the Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, Suhakam, concluded that social activist Amri, an alleged Shiite Muslim, and Pastor Raymond were victims of enforced disappearance. This means the government either conducted or condoned the abductions of Amri and Raymond. After much public pressure, the government formed a task force to look into Suhakam's findings. The task force appears to have completed its work in February 2020. The families of Amri and Raymond have taken up lawsuits against the government. Why have they done so? We put this question to Larissa Ann Louis, one of the lawyers who acted for both families during the Suhakam hearings, and is now one of the lawyers acting for Amri's wife in the civil suit. This is what Larissa said.
At the end of the day, from this filing of this case, we hope for awareness and people to understand these issues and how we can stand in the gap or stand with families who are going through this difficult time.
Larissa also told us that one of the problems the family is facing in the lawsuit is that the government has not made the report of the task force public. Why should the government make it public? We asked Roger Chan, a very senior lawyer who has appeared in many cases of denial of human rights and unequal treatment in Malaysia. This is what he said.
This is a crime with a public element, and the public has a right to know. That can happen to Amri, Raymond, and others. It can happen to anybody, and this is the thing that the police in their special branch division, the Home Affairs Minister, and even the Prime Minister must take responsibility for this.
Amri's family asked the government to give them the report so that they can put the findings of the task force to the police before a judge. The government responded that disclosure of the findings would be detrimental to national security. The government said the report is deemed secret under the Official Secrets Act, the OSA. We asked Surendra Ananth, another of the family's lawyers, for a comment on the OSA. This is what he said.
So essentially what the OSA seeks to do is to put in place a framework where censorship is a general rule and transparency is the exception. In any proper functioning democracy where right to information is a key constitutional right, it's actually transparency that should be the general rule and censorship should be the limited exception in certain scenarios. The OSA reverses this process.
Surendra told us that the High Court has given the family leave to challenge the government's classification and that this will be a benchmark case. Surendra also reminded us of the great handicap we face in Malaysia because not having the right to information severely limits our right to freedom of speech. This is what he said.
So I think all of us keep focusing on free speech, but we often forget about the right to information. The right to information is as equally important as the right to free speech. In order to make informed decisions, to effectively exercise our freedom of expression, we need to have the necessary information.